Hi, welcome to another Derek Does. Today, we're gonna do this. Hi, welcome to another Derek Does. I'm Derek, and if you're new here, please subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. And if you have any questions, put them down below. I will try to answer them. And if I can't, I'm sure somebody who is more knowledgeable, maybe is watching and reading, can answer your questions also. Now, today, we're gonna be doing a jacket that is the jacket, I think, of the workwear guy of modern era. And it's this, the Carhartt duck brown jacket. Now the colors, they come in blue and they come in other things of that nature. I found this jacket at a thrift store and it was on the rack and I was like, Carhartt. I generally don't look at the Carhartts that much just because I don't look at the Carhartts that much. I'm looking for older stuff. But I saw it looked really good shape, and then I looked and I saw it said made in the USA, and I know Carhartt's really popular now. Like, it's not just for workmen and work women. It's, you know, college kids are wearing it. Everybody's wearing Carhartt. Not particularly maybe this type of jacket, but they're wearing the hats and the sweatshirts and all that stuff. This jacket is a workwear jacket made for working people. That's what this jacket was made for. It was never made as a fashion statement. It was never made as anything like that. It was made strictly for work. And Carhartt's been around for a long time. I believe they started in 1889 making workwear, and then they started making military stuff like during World War I, and that's where they got their, they came up with one of their, the duck work jackets. I forget what the official name of it is, but they've made them throughout the different wars. They made them for the workwear, they made them everything, and they still make them today. Unfortunately, they do not make them in the USA anymore. I believe in 2009, they stopped making USA made workwear. I think they still make maybe a few pieces, but majority of it isn't. This is still that though. This is a vintage 1995. So this jacket's 30 years old. Saw it at the thrift store. I was like, wow, and I was like, kind of a nice jacket. I saw it was USA and everything. The jacket, the only thing is, I think it's somebody bought it way back in the day, maybe wore it for a day, put it in the closet, and you can kind of see, particularly here, and I'll show you close-ups, I'll put it on the hanger, and you can see the left arm is much fadeder than, I don't know, is fadeder a word, than the right arm, and I think because it was in a closet like this, and the door was here, and so the sunlight would have hit this part of it, but it never hit the rest of the jacket. This jacket still has the little hang tag here. They never took that off. That would have had the little Carhartt USA thing about the jacket. Over here, it still has the metal staple, which would have also had some information on the Carhartt. And in the pocket, I discovered, there is still the thank you for buying the jacket, and it's been inspected by Sherry Jenkins. So obviously that would have been thrown away over time. But this is what's in the jacket. I'll show you close-ups of the jacket. I've had a bunch of these over the years. They've come and gone. This one will also be gone. I just have too many jackets. I don't need another jacket, even though this one kind of fits me. But I'll put this on eBay. And I'm sure there's going to be people that will really want a vintage, basically, I won't say dead stock, but pretty much dead stock. Still has everything, and I'll do the close-ups again of all the information on the jacket, and you can see the close-ups and that sort of thing. But these, again, these jackets, they're duck cloth on the outside, 100% cotton, and on the inside, it's a polyester and acrylic lining. I think the earlier ones would have probably been a wool or a reprocessed wool, like most of the workwear stuff that was out there. But this is a jacket that was made for the guy going to work, chilly morning. He needs something that's going to protect his body. Doesn't care if it gets dirty. It can take a cut, a scrape, that sort of thing. But also keep him a little toasty underneath all his other stuff. And then halfway through the day, if he gets a little warm, he can take it off and just throw it by his toolbox. This is what this jacket is. It's not a fashion thing. I know Carhartt today is kind of seen as a fashion thing. There's a lot of kids wearing, you know, the Carhartt sweatshirts and hats and all that sort of thing. But the jackets are still the staple workwear, real jacket. So it's not a fashion jacket, even though probably people might buy this for a fashion jacket. It's just a really cool work jacket made to be beat up, abused. And to find one that isn't is kind of rare, unless you're in a Carhartt store looking at them. So without further ado, I will put this up on the hanger and we can take a look at it, but also put it on and you can see how it looks worn. This is a size 40, and I don't think they do 40s anymore. I think they just do small, medium, large, and extra large. But this is back when they actually made sizes specific for whoever's buying it. It's a size 40, but these are oversized. I'm a 42, so this jacket kind of fits me really nicely. I won't be wearing like a bunch of bib overhauls and things underneath it where I would need that extra bulk in the jacket to go over all my other bulk of my other clothing. So I'll show you this and I'll show you the close-ups of everything like that. But without further ado, I'll put it on and show you what it looks like on. All right, so again, this is a size 40. I'm a 42. These are oversized, so if you're gonna buy one, it's just a normal jacket, you might wanna go one size down in a vintage. I don't know about the modern stuff. There could be vanity sizing involved, who knows. But this is, again, from 1995, and I'll show you how I came up with 1995. But this is the jacket. It's a very classic work jacket. It's stiff, it's straight. It's really not made for trimming figures and that sort of thing. But this is it open. And buttoned up, because these are buttons, just like any workwear from the 20s and up would have this. It's not a zipper. They do have a zippered version, but it looks different. It's more like a sweatshirt that's been like that, but I'll show you that. The Carhartt classic duck work jacket. All right, so here is the jacket. It's just your classic work jacket. You've probably seen very similar ones, maybe a little longer, like a railroad jacket or something like that through Lee or Wrangler or Levi's, although Levi's really didn't make a jacket kind of like this, but it's got all the classic features. It's a really thick duck cloth, and you can see it's pretty thick here all the way up. It has these Carhartt brass buttons, or brass plated there, metal buttons, and you have all the way up to the top. This is that staple I was telling you about that's left over from where the would have had card on it, and this also would have had a card hanging. You have one pocket here with the Carhartt logo, one button pocket so you can keep things you don't want to fall out if it's on there. You have two pockets here. They're not lined, they're just pockets to hold things like this, and there's that "Thank you for buying it, Union made in the USA." Put that right back in there. It has a corduroy collar, so it's a little more comfortable on your neck, because if it was this duck cloth, that would really dig into it. So this is a nice feature, the corduroy like that. On the sleeves, you have a adjustable sleeve, so you can button it up either this way, or you can leave it open. I've seen most people leave it open, but you can get it tighter if you want to. And those are classic, like gauntlet type sleeves, I would call them. Now inside, you have this great blanket line. This is a classic, kind of a throwover from back when they actually used blankets for the lining. That's why they call it a blanket lined. They don't have to be this way, but they've kept it for tradition, I think. And then you have one pocket here on the inside to put your wallet or whatever you want to just keep on the inside or whatever. And on the back, you can see it's a split seam. It does have bi-swing here for ease of comfort, and also here for ease of comfort. No holes underneath. It's kind of your classic denim jacket would have that sort of arm setup, but you also get the bi-swing, which is nice. And it goes down, as you saw in the footwear, just enough that it protects you, but not too much that it hinders you. Oh, and then on the inside, you do have snaps here that a hood could be snapped onto it. So you have here and here. I've never actually seen anyone wear the hood, but obviously a hood was an option, and it has a snap here too for that hood. So if it's a really cold day, you can wear that. Of course, you guys would wear this with the whole ensemble of the bib overalls and a sweatshirt and a hat and everything. So it wouldn't just be by itself, it'd be a whole setup. Now here you can also see what I was talking about with the sleeves. See how much faded that is. And this is something about these jackets. They get this really lovely light mustard color over time, and they really get some really great fades. I don't know about, how much stove piping and stuff like you would get on the sleeves, but you totally do get a really nice fade like any yellow duck. So that is the Carhartt jacket. Oh, I didn't show you the tag. So you do have a locker loop here. Here's the tag, made in the USA, and here's the size. Now the 6 stands for the 6B, I think is the color, and then the LC is for the size of the jacket. And up here, way up if you can see it, it says 895, so this is August 95. So these jackets from this time period would date them, kind of like Nikes and things like that, with the date that you can decipher. I don't know about the new ones, but the older ones usually are dated when they were made. So that's something, if you're gonna find one, something to look for. And that way you can date the jacket. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode on the Carhartt duck brown jacket workwear, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure it has an official name, but that's what I'm going to call it. I hope you enjoyed the information. Maybe you can see if this is a jacket for you. It may not be, maybe. I'm sure you've known this jacket, you've seen this jacket 1,000 times, but this is the jacket. And now you have an inside edition of how it looks and the features of it and that sort of thing. And I hope it maybe will sway you if you want one or not. But at least it's in your knowledge of what to look for if you find one of these, and you'll know what it is. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next Derek Does. Thank you for watching.